What is up, guys? Bradman here, bringing you guys the OBA Season 3 Playoffs Team Builder. Now, originally, I really don't do team builders for like normal matches, but since this season we actually made it to playoffs, which I will go into detail in a bit here. We actually made it to playoffs. I want to do a team builder for this occasion. And if we make it to the semifinals and the finals, I will be doing team builders for both those matches. I just thought it would be a bit more of a situational thing that we actually made it to probably the threest, or possibly the highest matches in this league so far, and I kind of want to do a team builder for this just because it's a very, very important match, and that last season we did not actually even make it to playoffs. So if you guys are hyped for this and hyped for this team builder, feel free to drop a like and drop a subscription as well. Really, really helps me out. That'd be awesome if you guys do that. Basically what happened, the spreadsheet actually never got updated until today, so we kind of have, like, I think, an extra, like, 3 or 4 days to actually get our matches done, so I think till, like, next Wednesday. The spreadsheet actually never got updated until today. Basically what happened is I actually got a forfeit, or no response win, over John Mark, coach of the Mississippi Munchamps, giving me a 3-0 forfeit win. And my opponent this week actually got I think it's a 2 or 3-0 win over his opponent last week, which was the Los Angeles Lucarios, and John too. So we're actually going to be taking on Attack on Sammurott for the playoffs match. Basically, whoever wins this match goes on to the semifinals and faces the other winner of the I think it's the gold division. So I think it's either going to be Nazar or Striker Flash in that division. So whoever wins this match goes on to face those. We have a very, very good chance into this match. I've been preparing the team around about an hour and a half now, getting a lot of advice from a friend as well. So if you did help me with this team, shout out to you guys. We are going to go into this though. I'm hoping to win this match. We have a very, very good chance. It all comes down to where I play, and as you guys do know, we did get hacked out on the last match, thus making us lose. I think it was a 1 or 2-0. Loss last time against Sammurott. Sammurotts draft, if you guys didn't know it anyways, you guys should know my draft. This league's been going on for, like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months now. Sammurotts draft is actually Megamanectric, Gengar, Dragonite, Suicune, Nidoqueen, Whimsicott, Hitmontop, Blaziken, Braviary, Sammurott, Aggron, and Pinsir. Not Mega, just regular Pinsir. Really went into this trying to make the best possible draft, team that I could bring to this match. Something I'm familiar with and I know I can use very, very well, and an easy to use team and kind of a logical team to this match. Bringing the middle finger, Lantern coming back. I'm running the Choice Scarf again. I'm really trying to throw my opponent off guard by bringing the Choice Scarf Lantern again. He might prepare for it. He also might have the possibility, it's pretty much 50-50 if he brings the Megamanectric this week. If he does, we have a really pretty much 100% counter here. Unless he runs Hidden Power Grass, but if he runs Hidden Power Grass, then he has no way to touch my Flygon. So it's either one or the other for my opponent with Megamanectric. Either runs Hidden Power Ice and is able to hit Flygon for decent damage and possibly my Swellow, or he runs Hidden Power Grass just for the Lantern, which still is not going to be doing too much, just because I'm very, very bulky with natural defense or natural bulk. But either runs one or the other. If he runs Hidden Power Grass, I'm able to pretty much stay around freely and dodge Volt Switches and Thunderbolt with Flygon. I know he cannot touch Flygon unless, apart from like Flamethrower or Overheat, but we should be able to eat those up very, very well. We have a pretty solid counter to the Megamanectric here. This thing outspeeds a lot of things. I think it outspeeds like base. I think it's slightly over base 115. I'm not quite sure if it outspeeds his Gengar. I will look before the match. Don't quote me on that. I'm not quite sure. I know I did look for the last time I actually ran this thing Scarf in our first match, but hoping to catch him off guard. Running the Scald, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and Ice Beam. Scald pretty much hit the Nidoking and hit the Blaziken. A lot of things for stab damage. Hit the Aggron. Unless the Aggron has Sturdy, of course. Thunderbolt mainly for the Suicune and possibly the Dragonite on switch in. Gonna have to look out before for the Manectric just before that thing's Mega Volt that might have the Lightning Rod, but other two moves, Volt Switch, just to get in, get some nice, decent damage off, and get out to something that I can deal with my opponent's Mon with. and the Ice Beam, mainly for the Dragonite, if he's not set up to +1. I think we possibly might outspeed if he's at over +1. I'm not quite sure. I will look all this up after the video, or after this video, and before the match possibly. So, Full Switch and the Ice Beam for the Braviary and stuff like that. On to the next mon, we got Alexa Bliss to Chansey. I was actually originally going to drop Chansey for something possibly in the free agency for OU this past week. Good thing I kept this thing because this thing's going to be a huge asset in this match. I really don't think my opponent's going to expect me to bring the Chansey just because I did not bring it 2 times already when we both faced for the first time and the second time, which was a few weeks ago. Bringing the Chansey pretty much counters the Mega Manectric as well. The Mega Manectric cannot do shit to this thing. And even if it's the Mega Manectric, if he somehow like runs like a physical set with like Spark or some shit like that, something out of the ordinary, it still is not going to be doing enough to even where it's going to be effective for him. So, 2 very, very good counters to Mega Manectric. I'm not really worried about it in this match. And if he runs in power, he has to either run one or the other. So, not really too worried about that in this match. This also gives me a very, very good switch into the Nido Queen. He might run physical Nido Queen, which if he does, then I got Skarmory for it, and it's pretty much dealt with there. It also depends on his set, and we also have a counter and we actually have something that actually outspeeds naturally in the Flygon and the Choice Scarf Lantern this week, so I'm not really too worried about that as well. If I was a betting man, he'd probably running more like it was either a special defensive or the defensive set again, or possibly like a Stealth Rocker is what I think he'll run the Nido Queen as if he does bring it. This also gives me something that can switch into Gengar. I'm running the Shadow Ball mainly for the Gengar, otherwise I'm pretty much walled by it. Wish over the Soft Boiled this week, just because I wanted to Wish. Since Lantern did not have any reliable recovery, I want to be able to pass Wishes to this team. That's going to be one of the things that keeps this team healthy with Alexa Bliss to Chansey. Be able to pass Wishes to things like a Middle Finger, pass Wishes to Skarmory, pass Wishes to all of my other mons that don't have recovery, like the Flygon and the Political Bum, or the Swellow. Also got a Status Absorber for the Whimsicott if he wants like Thunder Wave or something like that. It won't affect me. Running the Toxic, it hits a lot of things on his team. Apart from like I think like the Aggron and stuff like that, but I should be able to deal with Aggron the way it is. So, and he possibly might not even bring the Aggron, fearing possibly the Manaphy or the Lantern. So, not over 100% chance that he will bring that. And Toxic doesn't affect the Nido Queen, but I can always Wish up and then switch out into something that can deal with it and get the Wish back, and I'll be in a very good situation. That's the reason why I'm running Wish. Also Protect, just because I maybe need to come in and stall out the Toxic. This thing is basically to pass Wishes and stall out Toxic. That's what this thing is meant for. Shadow Ball hits Gengar for decent damage. The only thing that really would be bad if he runs like a sub Black Sludge Disable Gengar, which I don't see him running at this point. I really don't expect him running. It would be more beneficial for him to actually run an offensive Gengar just because it's put so much pressure on a lot of my mons. And if he runs it as a substitute Disable set, it kind of takes away from his Gengar's usage. So, Perfect 10, the Skarmory. Running dual hazards, just because I want to get my hazards up. Mainly this thing is to come in, get both my hazards up, take out the Braviary, which is his only mean of getting rid of the hazard with Defog. Whirlwind is just there, just in case he wants to set up with like a Calm Mind, or Calm Mind, Suicune, which I could see him bringing this week as well. Whirlwind that out, Whirlwind out the Dragonite. I also have the red card as a backup. Maybe he could possibly switch in like a non-super effective move on the Dragonite, live it, and get that thing switched out, and possibly set up his Stealth Rocks. Another thing is he could set to +1, be able to live a Fire Blast on my Sturdy, hold up the red card, and get my Stealth Rocks up for free as he switched out to something else. So, I actually don't have my EVs in, but we're just going to go standard here. Not quite sure why 232 there. I'll change that off screen, but I'm just going to go standard. Pretty much 252 defense. This thing's meant to be a tank. Tank on like the Hitmontop and stuff like that. So, kind of self-explanatory. Political Bum, the Swellow. Now listening, I needed something that can really break a few high speed tiers. This thing outspeeds the Gengar, barring a Choice Scarf Gengar. It outspeeds the Nidoking. It outspeeds a lot of his higher tier threats. It pretty much bodies the Pinsir. It bodies Sammurott. It bodies the Nidoking. Depending on what set he runs for Nidoking, if it's like a bulky set, it will have a bit of trouble. But It outspeeds the Whimsicott, and this thing, he cannot Thunderwave me, he cannot put me to sleep. I have the guts as well. I guess he can try putting me to sleep with Sleep Powder, I guess, maybe. I'm not quite sure if even Whimsicott gets Sleep Powder, but I'm pretty sure it does. If he wants to try putting me to sleep, I do have a Status Absorber. If he wants to like Toxic me or throw a Willow at me with something, switch this thing in, get the Guts boost. Got the Flame Morph there, this so I get guaranteed status and get that Facade boosted. Running the U-turn, Brave Bird, Facade, and the Defog. Defog mainly as a last resort. Say I have my Lantern or something that's very, very low health and hazards will possibly take it out if he sets up like rocks or something. I can pretty much just bring this thing in, defog, let it go down, and have one of my other mons clean up the game or something like that. Just pretty much a last resort move right there. Don't really see myself using it too much in this match unless he likes to set up like Stealth Rock or something, but it's always there if I do need it, which is something I really wanted. I also could ran Roost, but I'm not going to really be able to Roost on a lot of his things just because they can pretty much Oko me. It's either I kill them or they kill me, most of his mons, so, or they pretty much do a shitload of damage to me, so. On to the next mon, Beer is good. The Flygon. Running the Life Orb. Not running the Choice Scarf this week just because I anticipate my opponent to actually prepare for Choice Scarf Flygon this week. Even though Choice Scarf Flygon would be very, 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 very good against this team again if I could use it good. But I do prepare my opponent for preparing actually for me to bring a Choice Scarf Flygon. So we're running pretty much standard. Being base 100 still outspeeds a decent amount of his draft. It outspeeds the Nido Queen, barring a Choice Scarf, that is. Outspeeds the Aggron. Outspeeds the Braviary, which is huge. Outspeeds the Blaziken. Outspeeds the Hitmontop, which I'm not quite sure how much it would matter because it might be Intimidate, but that's why I'm running Mixed, which I will get into. Outspeeds the Dragonite after no Dragon Dances, or when he's not set up. And also outspeeds the Suicune. So it outspeeds a lot of things. And I'm able to come in and clean up some damage. The only thing I will really have pretty much a bit of trouble with, maybe if he runs like Hidden Power Ice, Mega Manectric, so I gotta scout for that. The Whimsicott also is gonna be a problem for this thing, but I have enough answers for Whimsicott to where I'm not really scared of it with this thing. That's the reason why I brought this. Running pretty much standard with U-turn, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and the Draco Meteor. Running kind of mixed just because it has a few Intimidators with the Mega Manectric and the Hitmontop, which there's a 50-50 chance of him bringing Mega Manectric, like I said earlier, and also a slight possibility of him bringing Hitmontop. I don't see him bringing Hitmontop, but if he does, I can always just drop a Draco. Draco will be stronger after a -1, so then I can pretty much just U-turn out afterwards. Hitmontop really can't do shit to me anyways. Probably just go for like a Toxic or something, so yeah, it's probably going to be more defensive. Either like a more defensive set, or he could run like a Salt Vest, I guess, maybe, but mainly just mixed and a good pivot and get some very, very nice damage off. Instead of actually the Draco Meteor, I could have ran Rock Slide as well, but I wanted a mixed Flygon just because I thought it'd be a bit more effective and possibly catch a few things off guard, like maybe like a possibly like offensive Suicune, drop a Draco, and does a little bit more than Dragon Claw would have or something like that. So that's kind of what I wanted with this Flygon. So hopefully the thing puts in a lot of work this week. Also gives me another Volt Switch and a Thunderbolt Absorber. He cannot Volt Switch freely with this thing being around. So I have a lot of Mega Manectric counters in this team. So that's something I did want, just to be prepared for it. If he brings it, if he does, fine. If he doesn't, then oh well. I could still play around with this team. So, and our last mon, kind of wanted to bring a special Mega Absol for this match. However, I did not. I am actually bringing probably the best mon I could have brought, in my opinion, was the Crest. Ember Moon. Running I actually needed a setup mon on this team, and Cresselia was going to be that mon this week. Possibly I could use this to my advantage. I really have to. It's going to be a bit situational, but I think I can pull this off. Running the Moonlight Psychic, Calm Mind as substitute. He has nothing that resists Psychic. He has no Dark types or nothing like that. So, he does have a few things that do resist Psychic, but most part I have those things covered, like the Aggron and I think the Aggron and stuff like that. So I think the Aggron's the only thing that resists Psychic, actually. Yeah, it actually is. But I have enough answers to those to where I can actually just bring this thing in, hopefully get up a sub, and throw a few Calm Minds up and like that. So that's gonna be it, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this. If you guys do want this in the future, tell me in the comment section down below. We get the hell here. Hope you guys do enjoy. Feel free to drop a like and a subscription if you did like this as well. We'll be back with the playoffs match against Attack on Samurai. Peace.